Every year, countless sea turtles face a slow, agonizing death, not from natural predators, but from human-made threats, plastic and derelict fishing gear. These beautiful ancient mariners become entangled, unable to hunt, migrate, or even surface for air. While the images of their rescue are often heartwarming, they mask a far more complex and costly reality. This investigation dives deep into the true economic, logistical, and biological price tag of saving a single entangled turtle, revealing why rescue is merely a bandage on a much larger wound. The focus here is not just on the visible acts of heroism, but on the systemic costs that demand our immediate awareness. The moment an entangled turtle is sighted, a complex, urgent, and expensive chain of events is set in motion. First responders, often trained marine biologists or specialized rescue teams, must be deployed. This requires boats, fuel, specialized cutting tools, and sometimes even divers. According to conservation reports, the initial field operation for a single rescue can range from $1,500 to $5,000. This figure accounts for the immediate resources required to locate, safely approach, and disentangle the animal without causing further harm, a delicate process demanding skilled personnel and rapid decision-making. These are the immediate costs of crisis intervention. The financial commitment for a single, immediate rescue operation is significant. Reports from various marine conservation groups consistently place the cost within a specific range. This covers the essentials, boat deployment, fuel consumption, and the critical equipment required for safe disentanglement. It underscores that even the initial heroic act is a resource-intensive endeavor, funded predominantly through donations and grants, highlighting the dependency on public and private support to address these urgent wildlife crises. While direct costs are substantial, many operations rely on a hidden, invaluable resource: volunteers. An estimated 70% of rescue operations leverage trained volunteers, a critical factor that significantly reduces the direct labor costs that would otherwise be astronomical. However, this isn't without its own set of hidden costs. These volunteers require extensive training in marine animal handling, emergency protocols, and boat safety. Organizations must invest in training programs, certification, and ongoing coordination, transforming what appears to be free labor into a resource with substantial preparatory overheads. Their dedication is priceless, but their training is not. When evaluating the efficiency of rescue efforts, the distinction between volunteer-led and purely professional operations becomes critical. While volunteers reduce immediate payroll, their reliance necessitates significant organizational investment in training and equipment. Professional teams, fully salaried, offer rapid, consistent deployment but incur higher direct labor expenses. The trade-off is often between lower direct costs with higher training overhead for volunteers, versus higher direct salaries for professionals who are always on call. Both models aim for effective rescues, but their financial structures and resource allocations differ notably. This comparison highlights the nuanced economics of marine wildlife intervention. Successfully disentangling a turtle is often just the beginning. Many rescued animals arrive with severe injuries, deep lacerations, or compromised health due to prolonged entanglement and starvation. This necessitates extensive post-rescue rehabilitation, a phase that can span from several weeks to over a year. During this time, the turtles require specialized veterinary care, daily feeding, medication, and often, surgery. Rehabilitation centers are critical facilities, often custom-built and maintained to provide optimal recovery conditions. The commitment is profound, demanding consistent funding and dedicated staff to nurse these vulnerable creatures back to health before they can be considered for release. The daily operational costs of a dedicated turtle rehabilitation facility are substantial. Experts estimate the average daily expenditure per turtle, covering everything from specific dietary needs to specialized medical treatments and the upkeep of their recovery habitats. These figures highlight the sustained financial commitment required for each individual animal's journey back to health, a stark reminder that the act of rescue is not a one-time event but rather the start of a prolonged, resource-intensive recovery process, demanding consistent, long-term financial support. For many organizations, the story doesn't end with a healthy turtle swimming back into the ocean. To truly understand the impact of entanglements and the success of rescue efforts, data collection is paramount. Approximately 60% of rehabilitated turtles are tagged before release, often with expensive satellite trackers. This provides invaluable data on their post-release survival, migration patterns, and habitat use, contributing to broader conservation strategies. The investment in tagging isn't just about tracking one animal, it's about gathering scientific evidence to inform future conservation policies and preventative measures against plastic pollution, making each tagged turtle a living research subject. The pursuit of knowledge in marine conservation comes with its own price tag, particularly when equipping a turtle with advanced tracking technology. The cost of a satellite tag, which allows researchers to monitor an individual's movements for months or even years, varies significantly based on its capabilities and battery life. This investment is crucial for understanding the long-term efficacy of rescue operations and identifying critical habitats and migratory corridors, providing scientific foundations for targeted conservation efforts and further underscoring the comprehensive nature of rescue. Despite these heroic efforts and substantial investments, the long-term outlook for severely entangled turtles remains challenging. Studies indicate that even after successful rescue and rehabilitation, only 40% to 60% of turtles with severe entanglement injuries survive long-term after being released back into the wild. This sobering statistic underscores the devastating, often irreversible, damage caused by plastic debris. It forces us to confront the fact that while individual rescues are vital, they cannot fully reverse the profound trauma inflicted, highlighting the urgent need for a shift in focus from reaction to prevention. The true cost isn't just monetary, but also the loss of these magnificent creatures. To address the problem effectively, we must pinpoint its source. The primary culprit behind turtle entanglements is overwhelmingly ghost fishing gear, derelict nets, lines, and traps abandoned or lost in the ocean. This ghost gear continues to fish indiscriminately, trapping marine life for decades. Research indicates that this discarded equipment accounts for an estimated 70% of all plastic pollution by weight in specific ocean areas, directly causing over 80% of observed turtle entanglements. It's a silent, persistent killer, turning the very tools of sustenance into instruments of destruction. This fact is crucial for understanding where our awareness and preventative efforts need to be directed. When we break down the composition of marine plastic, ghost fishing gear emerges as a staggering proportion. This isn't just about single-use plastics, it's about industrial waste that poses a direct, physical threat to large marine animals. The numbers are clear: abandoned fishing equipment constitutes the vast majority of heavy plastic pollution in critical ocean zones, and it is overwhelmingly responsible for direct physical harm to sea turtles. These statistics are not abstract. They represent the entanglement of countless lives and the urgent need to address source reduction. Given the high costs of rescue and the limited long-term survival rates, a critical question emerges: is it more effective to focus on prevention rather than solely on cure? Investing in prevention includes initiatives like marine debris cleanups, responsible fishing gear disposal programs, and widespread educational campaigns. While these also incur costs, roughly $100 to $300 per pound of plastic removed or per person educated, they target the root cause. This proactive approach aims to prevent entanglements before they happen, potentially saving not just money, but countless lives and resources that would otherwise be spent on reactive measures. This is where our awareness must shift. Let's put the costs into perspective. A single turtle rescue and rehabilitation, as we've detailed, can easily sum up to several $1,000s, with uncertain long-term outcomes. In contrast, preventative measures, such as removing plastic from coastal areas or educating communities, present a different economic profile. While seemingly less heroic than a direct rescue, these efforts contribute to a healthier marine ecosystem, reducing the need for future rescues. The trade-off is clear: invest in preventing the problem, or continuously pay for its consequences. Our collective awareness needs to move beyond immediate reactions to embrace sustainable, preventative solutions. The immense financial burden of turtle rescue and rehabilitation falls disproportionately on non-governmental organizations and philanthropic efforts. According to consolidated data, approximately 85% of the funding for these crucial conservation activities originates from private donations and grants. A mere 15% comes from government sources. This stark imbalance highlights the vital role of individual and corporate philanthropy, yet also points to a broader systemic issue: the lack of substantial, consistent public funding for addressing a widespread environmental crisis. The sustainability of these efforts is heavily reliant on the generosity of a dedicated few. The financial architecture supporting sea turtle rescue and rehabilitation reveals a significant dependence on non-state actors. The overwhelming majority of operational budgets are patched together through voluntary contributions, from small individual gifts to large foundation grants. This illustrates not only the passion and commitment of the private sector but also the precarious financial position of many rescue organizations, which often operate on year-to-year funding cycles without guaranteed governmental support, making long-term planning challenging despite the ongoing nature of the problem. This funding dynamic needs to be part of our awareness. The problem isn't isolated, it's a global crisis. Annually, an estimated 1,000 to 10,000 sea turtles worldwide become entangled in fishing gear. This wide range reflects the challenges in precise global data collection, but even the lower bound represents a significant, devastating impact. Each number in this vast estimate signifies an individual life, an expensive rescue, a prolonged rehabilitation, and a battle for survival. The sheer scale of this ongoing issue underscores that individual rescues, while heroic, are not a sustainable solution to a problem fueled by systemic marine pollution. It's a call for global, coordinated action. Beyond the financial figures and survival statistics lies the profound human element. Why do we invest so much? It's an expression of empathy, a recognition of our shared planet, and an acknowledgement of our responsibility. Sea turtles are keystone species, vital to marine ecosystems. Their decline impacts the health of our oceans. Every rescue represents a moral imperative to mitigate the damage we've caused. While the cost is high, the value we place on life, on biodiversity, and on the health of our planet transcends mere economics. It's a testament to our conscience, but that conscience demands more than just reaction. This investigation into the true cost of rescuing entangled turtles reveals a critical truth: the heroic acts of rescue, while necessary, are an unsustainable response to an escalating crisis. We've seen the direct financial burden, the reliance on volunteer efforts, the extensive rehabilitation required, and the sobering reality of post-release survival. More critically, we've identified the root cause: ghost fishing gear, a relentless byproduct of human activity. The purpose of understanding these costs is not to diminish the efforts of those on the front lines, but to amplify the urgent call for a fundamental shift in awareness and action. We must move beyond simply reacting to entanglements, towards preventing them entirely. The true cost of rescuing an entangled turtle extends far beyond the thousands of dollars spent per incident. It includes the hidden labor of volunteers, the lengthy and expensive rehabilitation, the investment in research, and the difficult reality of survival rates. This complex equation points to an undeniable conclusion: the most effective, most ethical, and ultimately most cost-efficient strategy lies in prevention. We need sustained, global awareness campaigns targeting responsible waste management, advocating for gear traceability, and supporting innovation in biodegradable fishing materials. Your awareness is the first step. Share this information, support organizations working on prevention, and demand accountability. The future of these magnificent creatures, and the health of our oceans, depends on our collective will to act, not just react.